Welcome back in. It's Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head over to youtube.com. Find Locked On Sports Atlanta. Put it in your browser. When you find our page, hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment about what we're talking about. Also free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, which include Spotify and Odyssey. Find us there. Leave us a 5-star review if you would. And, of course, give me a follow on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Tonight we get, and I think this starts at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock, somewhere in that range time. We are going to get the names of the host cities for the 2026 World Cup. Now, we already know that it's obviously going to be in North America, the U.S., Canada, Mexico. They're going to get, a myriad of picks. I was looking at, and most of these will be obviously American cities, but I was looking at an article from NBC Sports that talk about the host cities that will make it, ranking the potential venues. New York 1, LA 2, Miami 3, Seattle 4, Dallas 5, San Francisco 6, Atlanta comes in at number 7 with DC, Boston, and Philly. Okay. Can I tell you, with all due respect, and this is sort of what we fight here in Atlanta. Okay. This idea of, oh, well, they're in the South and they're not a global. Yeah, we are. We have the biggest, busiest airport in the entire world here in the city of Atlanta. And by the way, if you've ever been to Hartsfield Jackson, it is the easiest airport to get in and out of. It really is. I've been to LAX and Miami and different places. Those airports suck compared to Atlanta. Atlanta is super easy to get in and out of. Okay. And our venue, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, guess what it was built for? It wasn't just built as a football stadium. It was built specifically to be a soccer stadium and host a World Cup. So we already know Atlanta is it's a destination for conferences and regional meetings and tourism and different things like that. So look, Atlanta is going to get at least one round of games that are going to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But I just have to laugh because it's typical. What about, with all due respect to San Francisco, Miami, Seattle, even Dallas, would make that more of an attraction spot than Atlanta, with a better airport, more centralized location for all the European nations to come over here, a big hub of an airport, a world-class stadium that was built specifically for this kind of event. Oh, yeah. Remind me again how many Olympics that there have been in Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle, and Miami. How many times have they hosted the Olympics there? I do seem to remember because, I don't know, I was here in 1996 that the Olympics were here. So it just kind of makes me laugh when I see this. Atlanta is a global sports city. When you talk about the biggest sporting events, Super Bowl, Final Four, whatever you want to talk about, all-star games, this, that, and the other, now World Cup, Atlanta is a destination city. And it is one of the premier. I'm not going to tell you that it's LA or New York because those are the two most populated cities in the United States. And obviously with LA, it's, that's where all of your Asian and, Eastern European nations and stuff like that can get to pretty easily, or, whatever. But again, this idea that Atlanta takes a backseat to anybody in the world of sports, whether here in America, globally, whatever, is ridiculous. And I know, like, people are going to talk about, well, the fans and all that. Last I looked, we're a championship city. Last I looked, the World Series championship was here in Atlanta. Last I looked, the college football championship was here in the metro area. Well, Athens is in Atlanta. Okay. In the world of global sports, Athens is Atlanta. It's not like it's in another state. It's not like it's a 2-day drive to get out to Athens. It's an hour and a half, for God's sakes, outside of downtown Atlanta. So look, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. The World Cup is, as y'all tell me, it's the biggest event in the world and this and most watched and things like that. The idea that Atlanta is only 7th as far as venues go, when you factor in the airport, the nature of the city, the ease of getting around, the hotels, the industry, the soccer. Again, last I looked, Don't we have an MLS championship here in Atlanta? Or did I miss that? Was I out for coffee and bagel that week when all that happened? So again, it'll be, at the end of the day, Atlanta's probably going to get one of the higher, spots as far as what round and stuff. Are they going to get the World Cup final in Atlanta? Probably not this go around. But don't be surprised if that ends up when we pull off this event and everybody sees how big of an event it is and they see our world-class stadium and this, that, and the other. Everybody knows we're a destination city. It's just funny that when you live here in Atlanta, that the perception from people on the outside, yet millions of people flood here to come and live in this city. That's why we're up over 6 million people in the metro area, because people love coming down here. They realize what a world-class type of market that it is. It's a great airport. The city does everything it can to bring in conventions and make it a destination city. When I moved here in 93, this was arguably one of the top 4 or 5 destination, convention cities in America. And oh yeah, there's good nightlife and some adult themed nightlife and all, but again, we'll skip that for right now and everything like that. But look, we'll find out tonight where exactly, because Atlanta's getting the World Cup. The World Cup will be coming to Atlanta, and Atlanta has done, and hats off to Arthur Blank and everybody else that's involved. Atlanta has done everything to put itself in prime position to get one of these better round games. I don't know what it's going to be, late in the knockout rounds or, semifinal. I don't know what. We'll find all that out tonight and we'll be able to analyze it. But it's just funny the perception that people have about Atlanta when you talk about all of the things that surround it. And I know people love to argue fan base and well, they don't sell out this. Okay, you want me to show you, want me to show you pictures of Yankee Stadium not being filled even when they win? You want me to show you the Dodger crowd that gets there by about the third or fourth inning? We can go tet for tet if you want on all of these things in all these different sports cities that don't make them any different than Atlanta. Okay? The difference is Atlanta has all kinds of other things going for it. It's got all the hotels. It's got all, whether the Congress Center or this or that, it's got all the facilities and arenas. It's got everything that you want. That's why Atlanta's always been an expansion city. That's why we have MLS and NFL and NBA and Major League Baseball. And yes, we've lost, we've had 2 hockey teams and lost them, but I can assure you that the reason we lost the second hockey team had nothing to do with the fans. That's because you had an ownership group that didn't have enough money to be able to fund 2 different sports organizations and, let the Atlanta Thrashers kind of take it on the chin. And anyway, that's, if you were here, what the story is about all of that. So good for Atlanta. It's going to be exciting tonight to see this all take place and happen. And let's hope that we get a top tier, match when all is said and done. All right, we thank you so much for making Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery part of your daily listen. Thanks for making us your first listen. Make my friends over at ATL Day Ones, Jarvis Davis and Tanitra Batiste, your second listen every day. Speaking of the heart of the city of Atlanta, talking all things Atlanta sports, you can find them free and available on our YouTube page. Subscribe there when you get there. Also, too, free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review, and I ask you to follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. We will wrap up the week tomorrow. This has been Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked on Sports Atlanta.